JP Morosi joins us right now from Ann Arbor, Michigan. You have got to tweet your heating bill when you get it, because I can't imagine what's going on up there. Let me talk baseball with you. Wade Davis, why is he so important to Colorado?
Well, Matt, a few reasons here. I think, as Joel pointed out earlier, it is part of that bullpen-oriented plan. That's why Wade Davis is now, on a per-year basis, the richest relief pitcher in baseball history, $17.3 million per year. And when you think about why the Rockies succeeded in 2017 in comparison to recent years, they had a winning record among their relievers, 24-19. That was the first time they did that since 2012. And you see what also was happening there. The bullpen opposing batting average was either worst in the majors or next to worst. Now, this year they got all the way up to 20th. But, Matt, that's all it took. Given the way that their lineup is structured, those Coors Field games can get a little bit out of hand. You need a very good bullpen to sort of settle those games down late. They did that last year with Greg Holland. Now it's Holland's former teammate in Kansas City, Wade Davis.
Yeah, I was going to get to Holland. Is he done? Are we sure he's not going back?
I think now, Matt, they have enough late-inning relievers. I think we can safely say that right now. And so now with Greg Holland and Addison Reed, the focus shifts to a couple other teams, specifically the Angels and the Cardinals. The Angels very busy with, of course, Ohtani and Kinsler and Cozart, but that's a team that I believe could find a way to maybe add that closer. Right now it's Blake Parker for them. And with the Cardinals, they added Luke Gregerson, but they've lost Sung Hwan Oh since the end of the season, Trevor Rosenthal, Juan Nicasio as well. So they still have, the Cardinals do, a deficit of relievers right now. I would look, from Greg Holland's standpoint, the Angels and Cardinals, and maybe the Nationals, because they're still trying to layer some relievers, anticipating, of course, Ryan Madson, Sean Kelly up for free agency after 2018.
Okay, what does the Davis signing do to the other relief pitchers who don't have deals yet?
Well, Matt, that list in terms of the elite names, I think, is getting shorter and shorter. We had that flurry of moves you see there, the still available relievers. I'm curious to see, again, I mentioned Addison Reed, somebody of his caliber who's been out there before, has some closing experience. Again, I think that Reed is a very, very good fit there, potentially for the Angels, and if not them, the Cardinals. The Cardinals have a number of priorities there. Of course, they're still somewhat involved in the third base market, but I think the Cardinals are a real big team to watch, pairing up with maybe one or maybe two of the names you just saw on your screen.
Well, they joined the major leagues in '93. So did the Marlins, but the Marlins are tearing things down. What are you hearing about a couple of young guys under club control who want out?
Well, Matt, this is very interesting because I think at the end of the Giancarlo Stanton trade story, there were some signals that, okay, maybe it's just Marcell Ozuna will be the last piece to move. But I've heard in the last 48 hours now, Matt, Christian Yelich's name is out there, and JT Realmuto as well. Some trade requests there that originally were met with some resistance, but now, again, I'm hearing the Marlins a bit more open-minded to moving these players if the offers are of that high caliber that they're looking for. Now, with Yelich, I was told two teams that have at least inquired, the Braves and the White Sox involved there with Yelich. And I love Tom's idea earlier about the aggressive Phillies. They do have some position players maybe more looking for pitching, but I think Yelich could be a very good opportunity for the Phillies as well. Now, with Realmuto, our John Heyman reporting earlier today, the defending champion Astros. They've got Brian McCann, they've got Evan Gattis, but Realmuto, such an athletic catcher behind the plate, Matt. I look for a team like the Astros, maybe their rivals in the AL West, the Rangers, two fits there for JT Realmuto.
A couple of weeks ago, it was all about Manny Machado, and then all of a sudden, you don't hear his name. What's going on now?
Well, Matt, this is a fascinating story right now because I was told in the last 48 hours or so that there are still some active talks right now for the Baltimore Orioles with other teams for Manny Machado. And one team I've heard, again today, the Boston Red Sox, which on one level would be stunning. In division, of course, there was the tiff earlier this year with Pedroia there. It'd be so stunning in so many ways. But we've seen these two rivals get together on a deal before, Andrew Miller a number of years ago. And how about this? Going back to the late 1980s in the great city of Montreal, Quebec, Dave Dombrowski and Dan Duquette in the same front office there with the Expos. That goes back 30 years. So as much as we believe with the Orioles they can be a hard team to deal with, we saw that with the Astros at the deadline and Zach Britton, I think if there's ever going to be a deal in that division that makes sense, it could be two executives who have known each other for literally 30 years.
And if I remember that, then that means I'm old. But anyway, it's not about me. Hurricane Maria. Hurricane Maria. How is it going to affect the Puerto Rican Winter League?
Well, Matt, the good news here for the people of Puerto Rico is they're going to have baseball back on the island next week. The Roberto Clemente Winter League, as it's known in Puerto Rico, gets going next week with a very abbreviated schedule. 18 games for 4 teams. Most of those games, Matt, will take place during the afternoon because there were a number of stadiums there in Puerto Rico that were damaged, that had their lighting situations and systems damaged during the course of the hurricanes that came through. So they're going to play a lot of those games in the afternoon. It's going to be basically a 1-month season, but they'll have some major league players. Alex Claudio, Raymond Fuentes, we've heard those names, Kenny Vargas, according to El Nuevo Dia, the big newspaper there in San Juan. So they will have baseball there. The Winter League is going, and of course, many people on the island certainly facing some real hardships day to day in their lives, Matt, but they're very eagerly anticipating the arrival of MLB games there in April. The Twins and Indians for that series there at Irán Bithorn Stadium in San Juan.
Yeah, that'll be very nice. Now, before I let you go, I set the over-under on the amount of time you spent shoveling snow at 17 minutes. I had some free time. I came up with that.
Yes.
And I'm going with the under. Am I right or wrong?
Me personally, I would say, in full disclosure, I got to tell the truth on the air.
Yeah.
We have some nice folks that usually come and take care of the driveway for us. So I would say under for me personally.
Okay.
But it looks like a winter wonderland out there. And again, full disclosure, I skipped my workout today, but I pulled my two older daughters, up the hill and slid them down 6 times, which I hope, Matt, burned the sufficient number of calories for me. So I feel like I did get my workout in today.
Yeah, but you're avoiding. It was about shoveling. You avoided it. You try to move me on to something else. JP, I'll tell you what. I'm throwing back to Greg right now, and I'm going to set the over/under for Greg on shoveling at 0.
Yes.
Greg, am I correct? Am I incorrect?
I'm like Morosi. I got a guy.
You got a guy.
I got a guy.
All right. Must be nice. Must be nice. Greg, take it away.